Houston is known as the Bayou City, and our bayous, especially those that line the edges of Galveston Bay, are incredibly rich with a diversity of life that's hard to find anywhere else in Texas. Unfortunately, there's been a significant reduction in tidal marsh habitat all around the Galveston Bay system. Every day, the waters in Galveston Bay rise and fall about 2 feet, and it's in that tidal zone that these types of important wetlands live. So think about that critical shallow water tide zone that marshes live in, only between the high tide and the low tide point, which is about a 2-foot differential. Now think about that land sinking 6 to 9 feet. It's a tremendous change in elevation. And it's that change in elevation that contributed to water depths that were much too great for the tidal marshes to survive in. The marshes drowned out all around Galveston Bay. This type of habitat is very critical for many different types of the commercial and recreational fish that we harvest in Galveston Bay. We're talking about the youngsters of redfish, speckled trout, flounder, mullet, drum, shrimp, blue crab. So I'm hoping as I'm naming these species that sounds like the seafood platter to you, because to me that's an important part of my diet. I enjoy eating fresh Galveston Bay seafood, and it turns out that the youngsters of all those species start their life in these marshes. They drift in the springtime. They spend the first full summer of their life in one of these marshes, escaping predators, seeking out the food-rich environment. Tides bring not just water depth, but they also bring saline waters from the Gulf of Mexico. And that low salinity water also defines where many of these tidal marshes and tidal wetlands live. In fact, the salinity level is what drives the entire distribution of life in the Galveston Bay system. Tidal marshes are incredibly productive and beautiful areas around the Galveston Bay. Their habitats have been reduced dramatically since the 1950s, but many different organizations have worked tirelessly for several decades to try to regrow these critical marsh habitats. And it's the restoration of these marsh habitats that have brought back many different marsh-dependent species that previously were never seen in the Nature Center's history. So these tidal marshes provide critical nursery habitat to over 90% of the commercial and recreational fish that we like to catch and eat. They're also very important to people as recreational areas. They're great places for paddling, for boating, for fishing, for bird watching, and generally to just get out and enjoy yourself.